Welcome to USAFBL Fingerboard Podcast. I'm your host, Levine Cunningham, and I've got Dave Ware here. We are live here at the Radio FBS store, Wilmington, North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
I am stoked. We got a 3-day weekend event, fingerboarding, RC drift cars, after parties, all kinds of cool stuff going down this weekend. Today we're talking about this gorgeous, it's not even in frame, it's so large. It's a 12x2 competitive, first of its kind, line park. Damn, Dave.
It was a lot, that's for sure. A whole lot of work. She's solid.
First off, it's kind of crazy because USAFBL has been on a roll. Like, it seems like it's been so long since we had you on the podcast, and it's literally been 100 episodes.
God knows.
You were episode 26.
26. Wow, what are we on now?
122?
Goodness.
I know.
Definitely been moving along.
We've been killing it. We've had all kinds of people on. I'm glad to get you back. There's been so much going on with you since you've last been on. Of course, there's so much going on this summer with the tour, and I'm excited to kind of get into it. For those that don't know, kind of like a little history lesson, you made all of our season 1 parts.
Yes, that was, I guess, early 2021?
Yeah, 2021?
2021, something like that?
I think you started in the 2020. We put them on the 2021 roster.
That's it.
Yeah.
That was 4 or 5 parts. Hazard Park, the Reaper Park, the first competition park, I guess.
Yeah,
the
very first one.
3x8, I think it was.
It's a beast.
And then, let's see, the big metal half pipe with the spine and the staircase, and yeah.
Everybody's favorite is the coffin, the bloody one.
The Reaper Park, yeah.
That is definitely a fan classic. We're actually going to be having all of those on tour this year as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we're going to have Generation 1 and I guess, what do you call it, like a Generation 4, Generation 5?
I mean, yeah, there's definitely a huge difference between those parts and the parts I make currently. I definitely had less understanding of, I wouldn't say materials, better materials now, better coding systems, and certainly better design. I've learned a lot about part design in the last 4 or 5 years, and I think I'm getting it to the point where it's a lot more functional than it used to be.
Man.
Hey everybody, it's Brian, and I am interrupting this because I've got the buttons and I can do what the hell I want. You're too core for teak? Really? That's cool. Keep shredding those crusty bushings and pretending that your fingerboarding tape isn't balding. And meanwhile, the rest of us are supporting USAFBL Fingerboarding Podcast and getting 10% off of our setups at teaktuning.com with code PLIES10. Or just type in teaktuning.com/PLIES10 and everything in your shopping cart's 10% off. You be real rebellious. Well, the rest of us are saving money on quality gear. What a sellout move. Teak Tuning, because being broke and authentic is only cool until your trucks fall off.
Man, all right, so let's backtrack just a little bit, because when we last talked, you were basically just finishing up all of our parts. You were moving into the obstacle game. Like, kind of tell us what happened from that point in Warehouse Ramps' like life cycle to kind of like where you're at now. Like, what kind of happened? What are you looking to kind of do currently, and what's the future look like?
Gotcha. Well, when I closed Warehouse Ramps, I guess it's been over 2 years now, something like that. I was doing custom work at the time, just taking custom random orders. My list and my clientele list, my order list was out 6-8 months. And it just turned into a lot more of another job. And I guess took a lot of the fun out of it. It was supposed to be my hobby. But so I decided to put the brakes on some of that, making stuff for the public as much anymore, and mostly just make parts for us here at the warehouse, and random obstacles, and then of course parts for the league. So I have a lot more passion driven versus requirement and responsibility.
I understand that. I feel like you can definitely see it in the work that you're producing now.
I definitely have more time to do things. I'm not so much on deadlines and things like that, and and randomly disappointing people. So
No one likes to be disappointed, so we're glad we're steering clear of that.
I just try to keep it casual now, straight to the point, and do what I love, and keep the passion with it versus it being a required task.
Right on. All right, so let's talk about this beauty. So this is going to go on our 2025 regionals and national tour. So this will be in Portland here in like 2.5, 3 weeks. This will be going to the Philly area, Allentown. This is going to be going to Atlanta and, of course, Detroit. And also, they'll be the same park at our national event in Minneapolis.
Hopefully you get to one of those spots and
You definitely need to.
come session.
Come sesh this thing. It's going to be an awesome time. This park is so massive. I don't even know where to start with this, but I guess kind of walk us through the overall build, and then if you want to kind of digest some of the sections and stuff, we can easily do that as well.
Sure. Well, the idea, when I was first talking to you about the type of park you're looking for, was to be a line-oriented type park instead of random direction kind of park, and of course for it to be symmetrical to play fair to all stances and all right-handed, left-handed people. So. That was the first idea. And then it's just a matter of making hits in succession to be able to create a good line. So we went through, I went through 2 or 3 different designs, when we were first talking, and this is the one we ended up with. So originally it was something similar to this, but 3.5 feet wide, and we decided we needed to make it skinnier to make it more streamlined and more line oriented.
All right, so some of these features on the park. All right, so let's start from one end and kind of work our way down.
Sure.
Everybody's going to be theoretically starting here on this end of the park. Kind of walk us through the build, what we've got here, some of the features, all that good stuff.
All right, so first is the quarter, I guess, easy enough, typical starting point. So first is the quarter pipe, which is pretty standard to start parks with. Something that makes mine maybe a little different than others is the whole face is made with a 1/2-inch piece of birch. I had to do kerf cutting, straight line cuts on the other side without going all the way through. And sometimes if you get it just right, you don't have to get it wet, but a lot of times you get a little wet and, bent the whole thing so it feels really solid. It doesn't feel hollow, that sort of thing, like a lot of quarters with thin faces. Then standard stair set and hubba, nothing too special. We did want to make it a little fancier. It has all marble tips going down. Of course, all the handrails are steel. And then marble top.
It's one of my favorite features right here.
They're pretty nice. All polished up and stuff. And different design elements. I wanted to make these rails not too tall and not too far this way, so we can make sure that coming and trying to attack the hubbas, the rails didn't get in the way, so everything is very functional and accessible to be able to attack it any way you like.
Tell us about, we've got a lot of marble on this park.
A lot.
How much money in marble is there on this park?
Easily just the marble on this park is $200.
That's crazy.
It's a lot of material costs.
She's a beaut.
A lot of fine quality with as far as the birch. It's got premium lacquer, like 5 coats of premium lacquer, pretty much everywhere except for the marble. And then of course all the steel. Typically with the handrails, traditionally I've went with 3/8. But a lot of people, have been telling me that they like a little smaller one, either like 5/16 or a quarter. Mm-hmm. I decided a quarter was a little too skinny and makes it a little too difficult. So I went with 5/16. I like it. Quarter legs fit right into it good.
Everything on this thing is solid.
Everything is 1/2 inch. There's nothing thinner than 1/2 inch as far as wood on this park.
All right, let's move more into the center of this park here. This is a 12-foot long, 2-foot wide park. And this is actually where it splits in half, where it becomes two separate parts.
Obviously, for you to transport 12-foot tables is a little ridiculous across the United States. So I had to make it in two different tables. Originally, I was going to split it in half and half, but it didn't make sense to make a split in an inappropriate place and then have to go the extra mile to try to make sure everything's shored up for when it's set up. So it just made sense to do it right here where the break is. You can totally separate into two tables, nice and easy. We got legs that fold up underneath. Generally, we attach it underneath so it's nice and tight. As far as the obstacles, we got some. I guess this is a take on the.
G8.
No, what's the? I want to say the Black River ramp with this and that. I want to say.
The rooftop.
The rooftop. But is it Schneider's ramp?
I think so. I know the name's slipping from me, but yeah.
So I guess sure, a little nod to Mike and Black River there. Mad respect. We got
the brick.
Huh?
Got the brick?
Yeah, we got a brick. These are the only element on the park that's removable because they can get high impact, if it's dropped on concrete or something like that. Obviously, it's brick. So, but these were a low labor of love. I could not find the size, really, that I was looking for. So I got up with mini materials. And they were gracious enough to make me a mold to exact specifications, and then sent me the first pack of red ones. And then I just made these. They're tan orange. I think the color's called buff, but it's a little dual tone brick walls there. Pops right in real nice and solid.
I like the gaps. There's so much that you can do here. I really want to see someone do like a kickflip back tail, transfer the gap. I want to see some cool stuff going down in this section for sure.
Yeah, I thought it'd be neat. You can do a lot of stuff off manuals and things, and get some extra height with it with the incline. So
definitely. All right, let's move over to this iconic red rail. Okay, so this red rail, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is a first. I've never seen a circular rail in fingerboarding, period.
Well, in thinking about the second stair set on the park, I obviously didn't want to make it like the first. I wanted something a little different. And I've had a couple of ramps where I have round rails on. They're not full circles, but they're like a U or one thing or another, or Ys, and just experimenting with different configurations. But I really wanted something that just really makes people think and try to be creative. And I think the circle rail is certainly that. You got to be creative about it. So there's a lot of options. I intentionally left this more open. You do tricks up underneath if you're good enough. And I'm interested to see how creative people are on the floor with this. I can't wait to see the clips and stuff and see what people do on it.
I I've been working on my my switch blunt, switch flip out on the other side, and it's there's a lot of technicality to this. It's not your standard rail by any means, so you really got to be. It's different. I can't even explain it. You lock in, and you're at an instant angle. You got the slant. There's a lot going on. So this is by far the most technical rail I've ever skated in my life.
I'd consider doing it more flat, lower at the beginning and just flat.
Where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in that?
It took, I thought it doesn't look like a rail going down a handrail or stair set,
And you call it the basketball hoop?
I mean, I was joking with you. A lot of the coatings is all lacquered, and then I've got the paint lines over the lacquer, so it kind of has a basketball court-ish feel with that look. And then you happen to have a round rail here like a hoop. Not that it has anything to do with basketball, but whatever.
Oh, man. All right, let's lock in here to the final portion of the park, the only real transitional side of the park as well. All right, so we've got matching his and hers box pyramids, followed up by, I don't even know what you would call this piece, but it's impeccable.
Yeah, I mean, these are pretty much, they've been done by lots of different people. So I would say that these are nothing new. I did want to kind of create this whole pattern with the flooring in this, hence this being stained before the lacquer. So that dictated somewhat of the shape, and these being somewhat angled. Originally, these rails were going to be at the very front, but these being angled, it left you a smaller portion to come to the front. So I backed them off a little bit for functionality. And yeah, just a back and forth kind of thing. I think it'd be cool to see people go, if they're on one side and go to the other side and use both of them in their line. That might be kind of neat. And then this guy is much like the first quarter. Same with the half-inch birch faces and kerf cutting. This was probably one of the most difficult obstacles I've ever made. I made probably 8 or 9 of these 2 pieces before I got 2 of them that worked right and fit in there properly. So, and not to mention this area where I'm having to router just to make sure the rails go in there at the right height and depth and all that. So,
Perfection.
Yeah, that one was hard, no doubt. That one took a while. But these were pretty hard as well. But this one was probably one of the most difficult obstacles I've made, for sure.
Nice, nice. So with all of this right here, this makes the perfect ecosystem for a line part. It's got all your elements. You got transition, you've got streets, you've got tech, you've got this crazy round rail in the middle of it that just draws everything together. You got marble tops, rooftops, you got everything. Everything is here. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Outdid yourself.
It's, I would have to say it's one of the finer parts I've made, no doubt.
All right, so tell us about the time. How many man hours do you have in this thing? I mean, like, kind of let people like really kind of like appreciate what they're actually looking at here.
I guess it's a little hard to grasp that because, it was built, I have a full-time job, so this is built during my spare time. And over, I think, 3.5 months it was. So I probably have 80 man hours maybe. Something like that, maybe a little more.
Okay. That's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a little less than Boardwalk Plaza one with the parquet flooring on it, but that one was just a whole lot of math. But this one was definitely what's up there with the amount of hours. All of the fine coating, all of the taping with the lines, and just a lot of work. A lot of work.
And for retrospect, when you say 80 hours, that's really like 160 hours, like my time, like, because you're a pro, you're an expert, like you got all this stuff down.
Actually, I'm an amateur carpenter at best. I do professionally paint and have for 25 years, so that probably helps me a whole lot with the coatings and hiding mistakes, carpentry mistakes, and just making everything generally pretty or whatever. I've refinished cabinets for a living as part of my work. So, this is all cabinet grade finish on this part. So,
all right. So you can find this park along with 30 other plus parks on tour with us. We're going to be in Portland here in 2.5 weeks. We'll be in Philadelphia the week after that, Atlanta, Detroit, Nationals here in Indianapolis. I'm sure it's not even in that order, but we've got so much lined out, so much going on. We've got vendors, we've got hotel parties, after parties, lobby parties. It's a 2-day event for all the regional events. Grab your tickets early. We got, if you're going to stay at the hotel that we're hosting them at, definitely grab your hotel rooms like ASAP. Those are on a deadline for sure. No one wants to pay full price for a hotel. I'm dropping the links here in the description for you. Lock all that stuff in. We've got so many more announcements coming up. You guys are in for a treat. Dave, it's been a pleasure.
My pleasure, man. I love making parks for the league. I like seeing a lot of people get to have fun on what I make. So,
well, I'm excited. I'm excited to showcase this to the world, and I'm excited to see what everybody's got. Until next time.
my fingerboard, I'm ready to dive. Pushing limits, flipping tricks high in the sky. Every sliding grind, I'm chasing that high. Feel the rhythm, let it flow. Fingerboarding, let's steal the show. Fingerboarding, I'm flying free. With every flick, I'll write my story. On this board, I'm never alone. In the skate park, I found my home. Grip take tight, I'm soaring like a bird. Every trick a story, every slide a word. Grinding on the edge, I'm breaking the mold. Fingerboarding dreams worth the weight in gold. Hear the wheels as they scream in this fingerboarding dream. Fingerboarding, I'm flying free. With every flick, I'll write my story. On this board, I'm never alone. In the skate park, I found my home. Hear the wheels as they scream in this fingerboard.